we're going to head over to Bud Elliott, National Analyst at 24/7 Sports, with a very special guest.
Thanks, Blair. I'm here with Yogi Roth, Elite 11, author of the 5-Star QB. Yogi, what did you see Julian do that allowed him to take it over the top and be the Elite 11 MVP?
Well, number one, thanks for having me, man. I love the coverage you guys have, being out here at this event in year 25. It's amazing. And what we challenged all the quarterbacks and Julian to do when they got here was try to be the most connected class in the history of the 25 years of Elite 11. And that means like pouring yourself into everything that we do on the field, of course, X's and O's, of course, but really all the intangibles, relationships, high-performance psychology, all the things that we put these guys through that over the 47 hours we had them, he was all about. You knew his tape was elite. He came in, he was one of the top 5 guys, and you just look at what he did as a football player in actual helmets. And then here, his traits were off the charts, and then the way he played his time on this field, he didn't miss many throws. He made some wow throws. His consistency at a high level was there the entire time. So he kind of did everything. He was really in pole position or in the conversation from the moment he walked into L.A.
You've been at Elite 11 for a long time now. Is there a player that Julian reminds you of, a guy you've been around, kind of the same vibe?
We were talking about that on the sideline. He reminds me a little bit of Cody Kessler. His release is different, but body type, his frame, how he moves, his personality, he's so engaging. He can connect to anybody. He'll be a captain. He'll be a starter. He'll do all the things when he goes to the next level in college. But that's probably the first one that came to mind. But he's a pure passer. I think that's the thing that stood out for me. You couldn't tell that much on tape. Like, you knew he was talented, but what stood out, like his unique trait, I was like, wow, this dude can deal. He doesn't just put it on the chest, he puts it on the front number. Like, he can locate the football in a bunch of spots, and he did it. Literally rep after rep after rep, as you saw.
I know before we went live, you were talking that you were surprised this class was a little bit deeper than you expected it to be entering the event. Is there somebody that you saw with those kind of same things behind the scenes that really impressed you, and maybe one of your personal favorites in the class?
I mean, look, Dylan Raiola, that's an easy one to say, but I think what I loved about him is that we always look at these quarterbacks and they come in they have a ranking, right? They also have a helmet on. They have a highlight film. They may have an NIL number associated with them. They have a school they may have committed to. But you got to get under the hood, per se. And I spent a lot of time with Dylan just to get to know who he is as a thinker, as a thought leader. This guy's only played this position for 3 years. I mean, he's threw himself into the relationship side of this thing. You've been around this for a long time, man. You've seen quarterbacks come in, and especially the big guys, people are trying to pick them apart sometimes, and it's hard to manage that environment. A, nobody was trying to pick him apart, and B, he managed it with incredible ease. I think he's really natural in that environment. So he stood out. Trevor Jackson as well, he stood out as a guy, one of the 2 non-committed quarterbacks. Yeah. I think he's one of those guys like we've seen with Sam Darnold in the past or C.J. Stroud. They come out of the finals here, and you're going to see their recruiting explode, if it hasn't already with the way that he performed.
For the guys who don't make the final Elite 11, what advice would you have for them?
Kind of like how we started it. We asked them when they walked in, I said, write down your intention when you got off the plane and walked in here. And over the course of the time with them, we said, can you revise it? Are you really paying attention to it? Because it probably began with win the MVP. And I hope over the course of whether it was sunrise hot yoga, cold plunge pool, all the things that you've seen on social media that we've done, they've revised that intention. And it's been about maximizing their potential. We had a sports psychologist come in. It's a great story. And he said, you're often saying you have to live up to other people's expectations. What if we eliminate the word expectations and just insert standards? And I think that a lot of these quarterbacks have revised that intention when they came into this camp, and they said, you know what, yeah, I wanted to be in the 11 or I wanted the MVP, but that's an external, and it's really been about my standard. How did I grow? How did I get better? So that's what I would say to those that aren't in the final Elite 11 is just keep tapping into that. And then double down on the community. I mean, we challenge to be the most connected. That's the theme of this year. And I really think, I've been here since 2009, it's the most connected group we've ever had.